Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Well, we're here again. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time, I'm IJ. I'm a lecturer at, well, in a university in England. Okay, and I'm just doing this YouTube channel to really help students who are just coming in, those who are already here, but just struggling. If you're an international student, don't worry, help is here, okay? And please do leave your comments in the comment section if you have any questions. Certain things you think you would need someone to address, please do let me know. Okay, so if you haven't watched the other videos, please do smash the sub button. That keeps me going. I love hearing from you. Like the video if you like it. Thank you so much. Okay, that's the only way you can really give back. You think, oh well, I'm investing my time trying to do this and talk about different things that are important to you. The best way to say thank you is just subscribing, and guess what? It's free. It's free, my darling, so please do. I would appreciate it. Okay, well, let's jump right in. Yes, we start from excellence. That's the aim, that's the goal, and that's why I'm here, to see that you excel. That will give me so much joy. Right, so we're looking at citing sources and referencing. As you may already have been aware from the previous video, you may be called to have an academic misconduct meeting if you have a high plagiarism score. And to avoid having this high plagiarism, we decided let's look at the ways to actually make our work, of course, of the right standard, using our own words, but also citing sources. And when we come to using our words, that'll be paraphrasing, which we'll cover in the next video. But for this one, citing sources, really, really, really important. So let's get into it. Now, something that you should be aware of, there are different ways of citing, citation and referencing, but it also depends on what your university wants. So, for example, some universities may want the APA 7th style, some may want Harvard. And within Harvard, there are certain unique differences as well. Some universities may decide to have this comma here or this, whatever differences there are, you need to be aware of what your own institution wants. However, this is a more generic, general way of referencing, which I'll be covering in this particular video. So let's start first with in-text citation. Now, with in-text citation, is really just citing the source where you got it from without including all the details, including the name of the book, the publisher, and what have you, just the author and the year. So then, for example, if you're citing one author, you have the surname, the year. If you need to include a page number, maybe you've added some quotations, you can do that by just saying P and a dot with the number of that. Or if it's more than one, if it's more than a page, you could have the dash and to whatever page number that you've read. Okay, so really it's just about the surname and the year. For both APA and Harvard, these are the two most popular ones. There are others, so please do check with your university. So, for example, you can say according to, say the name of the author and the year. If you have both of them in brackets, so for example, Okeni and Gold, within the brackets you will use the symbol, outside of the brackets you use the word and. When you've got three or more authors, you need to use et al. Rather than having the names listed here. Okay, so Okeni et al. Dot whatever. I can see that it's right here. So we also have those ones within the brackets. You have it just the way I've shown you right here. When you have so many sources, it will be useful to arrange the different sources according to the alphabet. So the first surname, for example, if we have Abbas 1990, Charlie 2022, Ukeni 1980, it will be Abbas, Charlie, Ukeni because it's alphabetical like that. Some conferences would want you to arrange it by the year, so it will be the 1990 first before the 90, for the 2000 before the 2020. Whatever the rules are, please do adhere to that. For Harvard, it's really similar. However, instead of using the symbol and, you use and then et al. Starts from 4 or more authors. Now, some universities will say for the first time you need to list all the names, and afterwards you can use et al. Whatever the rules are for your institution, please do be aware of. Okay, now the way you reference different sources will be quite different. So if you're referencing a book, there'll be certain rules for that as compared to referencing, say, a journal or a website. And most universities have their web page, mostly in the library, where you could actually look through to see what is required. So let's just use 3 great examples. I'll be looking at referencing a book. For the APA style, you would see, just as we've talked about before, the symbol and is normally used. However, you would need to then include the initials. Remember, when you're writing the in-text citation within your academic piece of work, you don't need those initials. I see some students making that mistake. You don't need the initials just within the reference list, okay? So you can see the name of the authors, and you can see that the title of the book is written here afterwards, but there's a dot there as well, so please do be aware of that as well. Right, so after the dot, we have Leadership in Organization as the title of the book, and is in italics, and then you have the edition and of course the publisher. For Harvard, however, most institutions may allow you to use the symbol, otherwise it's generally with the full words and then we have the year of publication. Most of them are without brackets, some may want you to write it in the brackets, whatever it is. We can see similarly they've got the title of the book in italics, and we've got the edition here. Outside the brackets, we'll also have the publisher and the location. Okay, so like I said, there are certain differences across universities when it comes to Harvard referencing, so please do ensure that you're tailoring yours to the right one. And we've got for the website. So for APA, it's really straightforward. You write the name of the institute, for example, Florence Gold Institute, what's the topic or title of the page or whatever you've been reading is. So for example, we start from excellence, and then you put in your website, the websites that you've read. For Harvard, however, you will have, there are similarities as well. For example, you have the British Psychological Society, you've got the title here, you can see it's also in italics, and then you need to include the words available at. You put the web link right there, and then you also tell us the date you assessed this particular article. So assessed, and then you say March or August, whatever. Okay. And then finally, we have referencing a journal article. Most of you, I hope, will be using journal articles. I would say limit, if you can, your use of websites. One website not to use at all, Wikipedia. All of those wikis, they're not really classed as academic sources because different people could actually, include materials and upload stuff or write stuff on those websites and blogs. So just be careful with those. I will go for more professional sites, from registered companies to newspapers, reputable ones, of course, and then institutes that are also reputable, depending on your field. Financial Times, ACARS, CIPD, these kinds of websites. So just be cautious of where you get materials from. Okay, now let's get into it. For referencing, when we look at referencing a journal, so for example, Okene, comma, I.G. dots, you can see that we have those standard ways of abbreviating your initials. And then you have the year with a dot there for APA 7th, and then you can tell us the title of the work you've done, and that'll be followed by the journal itself. So the title is usually written, as you should, whilst the title of the journal or the name of the journal will then be in italics. Okay, when you're doing the book, it was the title of the book that was in italics. When you write in your journal, it's the journal itself that'll be in italics. Another example is by Ever and colleagues. Instead of saying Ever at all, I had to list all the names of the authors, as what should be the case when you're doing your referencing list. Obviously, when you're done with all of this, you need to arrange your references alphabetically. Is the norm generally. You could use hanging paragraphs. How do you do it? Just highlight it, click on it, and you'll see paragraphs. Click on paragraphs, and you can then choose hanging paragraphs. It just makes your work really neat. But again, it's just part of formatting. It may not be required for your own uni or your module. Okay. Well, what's required is ensuring that you use the same style consistently. If you're writing a journal, you want to apply and you want to publish, you could use the style recommended by the journal. However, some journals may be open to you using any particular style, and there has to be consistency. So you don't reference ever with APA and then reference Ukene with Harvard. Just use one style throughout in a particular document. Okay. All right. For Harvard, you can see we have similar abbreviations of the initials and names, surnames. All the authors are listed as they appear on the paper. And then you have the dates. Sometimes without brackets, some are. And then you have your title. Just look at those subtle differences. In APA, we'll have the title with a full stop. In Harvard, we have the title, which are in quotation marks and with a comma. And then, of course, the journal itself is in italics, as you can see. Whilst Harvard will have volume and number, APA will just have these numbers alone, and I can see in bracket. The first one is in italics and the second one is in the bracket. So just bear in mind these different subtle differences, of course, but they're important. When you've done all your references, please arrange them alphabetically, like I said, and ensure you're only including references you have cited in the main work. Now, bibliography is where you have everything you've read, really, whether you cited it or not. But with most academic piece of work, they want you to use references, which of course should be those that you've already cited in the main work. Okay. Now, if for any reason, say when you were reading ever said, ever quoted Peter, and you want to cite Peter, you need to go read Peter up. Okay. Or if you just want to go by what Eva said, it's okay. All you need to do is, as cited in Eva, Peter blah de blah. Okay, you can't just pretend like you've read Peter and just say Peter said when you haven't read it. You just read it in Eva. So if you've just read about Peter in Eva, say if you've read about A in B's work, you need to say A as cited in B's work. Okay, fantastic. All right, that really brings us to the end for today. These subtle, easy, hope it's not too complex, things that you need to do will help you to avoid having issues of academic misconduct. Because when you cite properly, when you reference properly, your plagiarism scores will go down, hopefully, if you also paraphrase, properly. So we'll look at paraphrasing in our next video. But bear in mind, this is absolutely important. You can't pass a module without referencing or citing other sources. It's just the way it is. So please do. And it also shows that you're reading. Okay, broad research. Researching is a skill that you need. So please do start engaging with different materials in the field. And until next time, take care. Thanks a lot. Hope you subscribed. Remember, in Florence Good Institute, we start from excellence. It's just about success and good ones. Okay, tell a friend, share the link, let others be aware of this kinds of information. For those of you who are high flyers, you want to make distinction, this is the way to go. Okie doke. Thank you. Take care. Bye.